Hey everybody, I'm back for another video, and you'll notice I didn't say something. Yes, my name is not Geometrical Gamer anymore. I changed it for several reasons. So we're going to be talking about that along with other things today. But the first thing I want to cover is why I changed my name. I went from Geometrical Gamer to Triforce Gaming. First thing is, when I made this account, it was mainly going to be Geometry Dash. So when I stopped doing Geometry Dash videos, I hated my name because it didn't really make any sense. So I always wanted to name it something like Zelda related or something like that because I'm such a big fan of it, but I never really had the ability to do Zelda videos, so it kind of seemed ridiculous. But with the upcoming Nintendo Switch and the fact that I'll be getting it soon after its release, I think a couple months, there's going to be not only screenshots, but video capturing. So I'll actually be able to do videos. And that's really exciting because Breath of the Wild and all of the other games that are going to be on the virtual console, I'll be able to do videos on. I could do entire playthrough the games if I really wanted to. Not that I ever would. But I could just do gameplay of a game. And that is going to be really cool. So that's the first thing. I'll probably be introducing myself as Tri or something like that instead of Geo or Geometrical Gamer, because I think it's a lot cooler. So yeah, expect more videos soon. Probably some more on Fire Emblem and Zelda. But today, we're here for a Let's Talk. So today, we're here for something big, something I've been waiting to do, something important. Let's talk Breath of the Wild. That's right. The biggest game, the most hyped game of the past couple years, and this year, and right now, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Originally going to be Wii U's standalone main Zelda title, is now going along with the Switch, and from what I can see, even the fact that they will be similar, there are going to be differences, and it's going to be great, both versions. And today I'm just going to talk about what I think, what I see, what I'm expecting, and yeah. So let's start. What I'm expecting. I'm expecting a Zelda game. No, duh. But a special Zelda game. It's going to be the great... Well, at least this is what I'm guessing. What I'm expecting. I'm expecting a great, long adventure that's in Hyrule, I hope. Zelda and Link, which from what we know is confirmed. And I really hope they don't change that, which I don't know how they could, considering the game's already probably done. But I'm expecting a really big world. Like, really big. We already know it's probably about 100 times the size of Twilight Princess, and that alone has a lot of stuff to do. And it's big. And it's like 6 or 7 times the size of Skyrim, which, not being the best game in the world, and definitely not a standalone title in my opinion, still massive in so many things to do. So that's going to be really cool. I'm expecting a lot of different weapons from what they've said, really good graphics, because I've seen the comparisons of the Wii U and the Switch almost has a different art style when it comes to light effects and stuff like that, and I definitely like the Switch version better. So, sorry, Wii U, but I'm going with the Switch on this one. It's going to be great. I'm expecting so much, and I'm really hoping they're not going to let us down. What I really want specifically. One, I want items. I know they've said that it's not going to revolve around, one specific item, like an ocarina or a Wind Waker. That's going to revolve around the land and what you can do with it as a whole. But I still hope they implement some of the things that the games have kind of made staples in their series, like the hook shot, the boomerang, stuff like that. And I don't know what they'll really do with it, but still, I feel like it should really be there, and it's important to stay to a series' roots when branching out and doing something new. Not that I'm ever against that. In fact, this probably is going to be one of the best Zelda games ever. At least I hope. From what we've seen, it seems very strong and good, and if they destroy it or do something to stop the production or anything, if they do anything to the game that makes it worse, I'm going to be shocked. Because we've seen a lot of gameplay, and it looks so good, and it's probably done, and it's so polished looking. I'm expecting something probably a lot better than what we're probably going to get. But hey, a person can dream, and I'm really excited. Um, yeah. There are more things than I'm expecting from the game, such as lots and lots of dungeons. One thing that I actually liked from Skyrim was the fact that there are a lot of dungeons. And that was something that I always liked about kind of open world exploration games, is finding those things that aren't needed to be found, but you do find. So I really hope they implement that a lot into the game, and even at some points make it mandatory to do these quests, because it's so fun to go and do something that you know you're not supposed to or have to be doing. It almost just creates like such a bigger feeling about the world. Like things are going on around you that you don't really see. And that's something that's really important to think about when making a new open world game, and something that I feel like Skyrim fell so short in. That you knew things were going on around you, but you didn't really care about it. There was no real point in thinking, like, what's around the next corner, because you always kind of knew what to expect. And yeah, I really hope they can figure out some way to make every dungeon very different, every experience in the game very different. And I just really hope it's a good, solid, standalone Zelda title. Now, there's a couple more things I want to talk about. First, graphics. Holy wow. Like, I thought nothing could ever surpass Wind Waker in terms of graphics, because the way they designed that game and at the time they did it, especially in the Wind Waker HD remake, I never thought that they would make another game that had that style of graphics and it fit so well into the game. They implemented it so well and created a world in and of itself that there was no other game like it, and even now that has that kind of graphics. It's always going to go down and be remembered for that one game that never aged in terms of graphics. And they may have just done that with this. When you look back at Twilight Princess, the graphics are good, but they're definitely aged. Skyward Sword held up a lot better, but they're still not great. They're good, don't get me wrong, they're really good, but they're not like a Sonic Generations, for example. Look back at that. That came out in like 2010, 2011, and those graphics are still the best in the series. Like I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. It's like the graphics in the latest Zelda games have been good for the time and have done well with what they've tried to do, but when it really comes to overall graphic comparison to other games that they're trying to, kind of like, I worded that really wrong. Like, in terms of other games in their genres and what they were trying to accomplish, they've never been super standalone. Don't get me wrong, I didn't dislike Twilight Princesses or Skyward Sword's art style, but they didn't age as well as Wind Waker. And from what I can see, this version of the game is almost like a mix of Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword with the cel-shaded graphics, or at least I hope, of Wind Waker. And that the graphics are so good, it's just amazing. It's just great. Also, a little fun fact that you might not have known, the graphic style in that game actually was designed by Japanese and or Chinese, probably ancient Japanese considering it's Nintendo and they're from Japan. I think it was, Japanese paintings from a really long time ago, though, the way that they drew things is that they were trying to recreate that kind of effect, especially in long distance, like designs that the original game, no, not original, like the paintings created, like that feeling, and they were trying to kind of capture that same sense, which I think is really cool because they're taking a lot of inspiration from something else that could be such a strong art dynamic, and I think that's gonna end up perfectly. So, overall, what I'm expecting is a really strong Zelda title that's nothing like anything that's been seen before, that is really strong, fun, long, and lots of replayability, just like every single other Zelda has kind of had. I'm hoping it's like a Zelda game, but that it branches out on its own, it tries a lot of new things, and from what I've seen, that implementation carries over from what we've seen so far. I might be setting my bar a little too high, because it probably will be glitchy, just like most games are, like Final Fantasy 15 and stuff like that. But I don't care that I'm setting my bar too high. I've always set my bar too high. So I'm really expecting something great. Now, I don't know if I'll get that, but one can dream. This has been Try. I'll see you next time.